Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Wait for some people to show up. What's good, Terry Daniels? Sitting back, man, watching some old Roy Jones. Roy has some he has some really good post-fight interviews, man. I'm watching this Montel Griffin, the second one. The second fight, when he went in there and stopped him in one round. This video right here, man, I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm literally waiting for my wife and kids to show up, so this video may end abruptly. It may go 10 minutes. It might go 30 minutes. Who knows? But when they show up, though, I'm going to get off. Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Y'all remember this?
Why didn't you want to have to do this? I don't like trying to hurt people. No, not I'm not trying to hurt that kid. If I would have got a chance, I would have killed that kid by mistake. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. That's not my intention. My intention is to come out here and do good things and be done with. That's why I don't like that old Roy Jones.
Roy was going off after that Montel Griffin fight, man. This just open Q&A, man. Y'all just send me some questions. I'm going to answer them. What's good, HT Logistics, man? Just open Q&A, y'all. Y'all send me some questions. We gonna get it in like that. Just freestyle off the dome, man. St. Cruiser says more natural talent than anyone I've ever seen, Roy Jones Jr. But no more fights, please. Yeah. I talked tonight. He was going off. Roy was amped after that fight. He went in there and beat the brakes off of Montel Griffin, man. He was hitting him with left hooks. But the way Roy was throwing them left hooks, there's no way to really prepare for that. Dude has his hands down. You don't even know where the punches are coming from. And before Montel Griffin could react to try to counter anything, he was just getting hit. When he was trying to counter, he got punched already. The punch was coming so fast, man. Roy at his best. And I know somebody's going to say, but he lost to this guy and he got knocked out. I know that. You know what I mean? Just like we know, when you look at great fighters like that, man, you obviously want to look at their career as a whole. But it's like in any sport, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to remember Willie Mays playing for the Mets or Jordan with the Wizards. You know what I mean? I'm talking about at his best. Roy at his best, man, was just... Some people say, oh, it was just his athletic ability that got him through. I look at it as unorthodox. And the way Roy breaks down the fight game, that man knows how to box. He knows how to fight. And he could fight if Roy wanted to, he could have put his guard up and fought in the textbook style. But yes, his athleticism did put him over the top. And some of these fights, man, I've just been watching Roy. A lot of these fights I watched live when they were broadcast and had them on VHS. But just going back watching them, man, it was just unfair watching him sometimes. You know, he was hitting guys with right hands and then ducking under their oncoming punch as they try to counter. They knew he was going to hit them, but he would hit them and then roll under. Like he knew what punch they were going to throw already, that they were going to throw. He would roll under their right hands or left hooks or whatever it was, man, and be able to get out the way. And it wasn't just moving his head. Roy could literally move his whole body out the way where you couldn't even touch his shoulder, his nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, this just open Q&A. Y'all just throw some questions. I'm just answer them, man. And again, if you're just joining, like I said, man, this could end at any time. I'm literally just waiting for my wife and my kids to show up, man. And got some things to do today. So I was just sitting here watching these fights. And I was like, man, let me just do a live feed. I'm sitting here watching these Roy Jones fights anyways. Might as well speak to the boxing fans. Come on, man. 25 people watching, only 5 thumbs up. Give me a Larry Holmes jab to that thumbs up button, man. All right, let me start seeing these questions, man. Adam says, who wins, Spence or Crawford? I'm going to go with Crawford. I'm going to go with Crawford on that one. Crawford's a dude, man, where the first, and I actually did a video about this too on my Mr. Boxing Today channel. But it was after the Breeders Prescott fight. I was very impressed by Terrence Crawford. He can go righty to lefty. He has natural boxing skills. He comes to fight, man. He comes to get it. You know what I mean? I think he could outduel Spence. I think he's more versatile than Spence, in my opinion. I think he has better defense. But Spence is a banger, though, man. That dude can bang, man. But I would favor Crawford in that fight. Eric R. says, right now, Spence win, but after Bud get acclimated, I think he can win all the belts at 147. I think he's ready now, man. That's how gifted and talented I think he is. Like I said, I think he's just more has more dimensions to his game. Now, maybe Spence has something in the bag that I haven't seen, or maybe he's just waiting to pull it out, or nobody's put him in a position to where he can, pull it out. But just looking at them, it seems as if Crawford has more well-rounded game, in my opinion. Spence may be the harder puncher, but sometimes he punches strong, man, strong puncher. But if he gets the missing and then getting countered, how will he react? Spence isn't a robot now. These dudes are still human, man. So if he gets to throwing those big, hard punches and he can't hit, or he can't hit what he's looking at, and he gets countered with some big shots, shit, how is he going to react? And if Crawford wants to, Crawford can move and use his legs. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people were not liking, a lot of fans isn't liking. A lot of fans right now is liking the fact of what Thurman is saying. But Thurman has good legs when he fights, man. He can use that outboxer style. And I think Crawford can do that also. Let me just send this text message to my wife real quick. Give me a second. All right, let me go to the next question. What's good, everybody that joined? What's good? What's good? If you just joined, man, like I said, this could end at any minute. I'm just waiting for the family to show up, man. I'm just, Eddie Sosa says, what's a VHS? I think you playing, man. Spinks versus Holyfield. Spinks versus Holyfield. I'm going with Holyfield. I think Holyfield would have brought the fight to Spinks. Spinks very awkward. And well, shit, man. If Holyfield let him control the rhythm, man, who knows? Because that's what he let Michael Moore do, control the rhythm of the fight. But I just see Holyfield taking it to him. Holyfield's the type of dude, man, even though he had the ability, he just never shied away from a fight. He always wanted to turn everything into a fight when he was at his best. You know what I mean? So, but I think Holyfield would have brought the fight to Spinks, and I don't think his awkwardness would have bothered Holyfield at all. Spinks awkward. Let me see here. Prime Tyson versus Prime Foreman. Big George. And to tell you the truth, man, I think Big George would have gave Mike. I thought he would have beaten. Now, y'all may say I'm tripping, but I thought Big George would have beat Mike. And around that time that it was rumored they were trying to get the fight, around that Buster Douglas fight or somewhere around there, I would have favored George Foreman, because I think George would have been extremely confident in fighting Mike Tyson. And I think Mike's style was just all wrong for Foreman. Some people may say Tyson's too fast, too this, too that. Mike was still getting hit now, man. It wasn't like he was just unhittable. You know what I mean? Like, he just wasn't getting touched. But Mike was definitely fast. I don't know, man. I just think his style's all wrong. Just bobbing and weaving. He would have been bobbing and weaving and ducking right into uppercuts, I believe. If he tried to stand straight up, which isn't his style, he would have been an easier target. So he would have been a moving target, or just try to stand straight up and what, he going to jab with him? I just see George winning that fight. And that fear thing, you could throw that shit out the window on the 8th floor. Like, that's not going to work at all with Big George. I just seen a question. Somebody asked about AJ Parker fight happening next. If that fight happens, I think that fight goes to decision. I think that's a decision. If I could see them posturing, because I think Parker, you know, like when Joshua fought Takam, I know Takam was moving, and Parker can move around too. When he's being pressured, he'll move around too. And I think it'd be that type of fight where they're trying to fill each other out. Maybe 3 or 4 rounds may go by, and some more rounds. Next thing you know, it's the 10th round, and guys are landing shots, but it's not as explosive as we thought it would be. I can see that fight going to decision. I'll favor Joshua about 55-45 in that fight. But I see that fight going to decision. I don't think that ends by knockout. McClellan, somebody's talking about McClellan. McClellan was most gifted because Ben fucked him up. If Ben didn't, I don't even know. McClellan can crack though. I remember them Julian Jackson fights. Roy was Eric R said Roy was amazing. If he went with Emmanuel and Crunk Jim, he'd have a way better career. It depends. I mean, overall, maybe when you get older and slow down and you're not depending on, these God gifted, quickness and ability. But that's what made Roy Roy. He wasn't that he did everything, like I always say. If you go to a boxing gym and they're teaching you how to box, the way Roy fights, they will not be teaching you that. That's something you have to feel comfortable with as a fighter. Not too many trainers going to say, okay, drop your hands and just try to dodge and, lean back and use pull counter. They're not going to teach you that. And that's what made Roy Roy. But when it all went away, it caught up to him. The reflexes wasn't as sharp. That's just shit. It's what made him him. Bernard Hopkins is a guy, like I'll use Bernard. Wasn't as athletically gifted, but his style, and he had a good chin. He had a way better career as he aged than Roy did. But Roy at his best, that's what he'll be remembered for. But you got, like I said, though, these guys' careers, man, you're going to look at even their losses and when they aged and, what they were able to do, because Bernard, that was the best part of his career, is his longevity. Peanut Butter and Cracker says, since you're talking about Roy Jones, here's a thought of mine. Roy never should have done his whole heavyweight journey thing. Wasn't worth it. Was never quite the same. I think it was worth it because he went up and won a world title. You could say what you want about John Quietman Ruiz. He wasn't the top heavyweight. We know it was Lennox Lewis, you know what I mean? But he did win a world title. I don't think it was worth it for him to go back down. What he should have done, and I remember... some of you probably remember this. I believe it was the Source Awards, the Hip Hop Awards. I believe it was like 2000, maybe 2001, 2000. But when they were having rumors of him fighting Mike Tyson and Michael Moore and Holyfield, he should have just fought those guys. The Tyson fight would have been a big fight. Especially around that, like, I can't remember the exact year, but like it was on the Source Awards where him and Mike were, they were going to give out an award. And they were both on the stage at the same time, and they kind of jokingly said, "Hey, champ," they said, "we gonna fight," or something like that. I remember that, and I think it was like '02. It was somewhere around there, man. That would have been a good fight around then. Ola Adi says, should Wilder fight Ortiz next year? Should AJ fight Parker for unification? Yeah, I still want to see Wilder fight Povetkin and Ortiz. Because I think, in my opinion at least, they're top heavyweights. I still want to see him fight those guys. And I still think the Ortiz fight is an intriguing matchup. So is the Povetkin fight. I know people say they're drug cheats, but look, man, we can say that. Like I always say, we can say that. But they're in the rankings. You know what I mean? Shit, Povetkin's about to have a fight against Christian Hammer. The winner of that is going to get a title shot. Whoever has the WBO title, they're going to be in the mandatory. So, and then Ortiz is still around. He's in the WBC rankings. I still want to see that fight. Ali versus Mike Tyson. Mike all day. Not in my opinion. I think Ali jabs his ears off, man. Jabs his ears off. He wouldn't be intimidated. Like a lot of stuff that Mike would use, like intimidation, cutting the ring off. It's hard to cut the ring off on a prime Ali or just Ali at his best. But shit, Ali was dominant even in his prime and past prime. I just don't see him beating Ali, man. I just don't see it. Just think of Buster, and you can say, oh, Mike wasn't focused. He was, screwing all types of broads and not taking, Buster Douglas serious out there in Tokyo. Just think of that. Just think of Buster Douglas times 5. That's Ali in front of him. Jabs, right uppercuts, shit talking him. Now, you may say, well, Frazier was able to beat him. I mean, well, I'm not saying there's no chance in hell that he, couldn't possibly beat Ali, but I just think 9 times out of 10, that style against Mike Tyson, I believe, wins out. And shit, look at Larry Holmes for a few rounds when he had, I'm not saying he was beating Mike, like he was, but some of the things that he was able to do, that fight and the Terrell Biggs fight, when they were just moving around, using the jab, kind of making Mike do the whole, come on, fight me thing. Ali would have been doing that times 10, man. Yeah, Roz Clock 222, even Tillis against Mike. Like that type, like if they were able to do kind of mirror some of what, like a watered down, diluted version of Ali, just think of the real Ali in there. Come on, man. At least for me. Vitaly versus Tyson. That's a good one too. Which version of Tyson? We talking about 80s or 90s? If it's, and I've said this before, I think 90s version of Tyson. I think the best Vitaly beats the 90 version of Mike Tyson. In prime 80s, late 80s version of Mike against Vitaly, I'll probably favor Mike. All right, let me start blocking people. I'm getting the bullshit up in here. Hold on. Prime Holmes versus Prime Foreman. I'm going with Holmes. If, guys like Ali, Young were able to outbox Big George, even Holyfield, now even, I know it's not prime, but just seeing George be outboxing his prime and out of his prime, even Morrison was outboxing him in that fight. I think that Holmes would have outboxed him in their prime or from like that 1991 through about 1994 versions of both of those guys. I think Holmes beats him. Anthony Yardy, I think he's a good prospect. Want to see him step up and take on tougher competition so I get a better feel for where he can go. But he looks the part. He comes in shape. He's always training, so he's a workaholic. Seems like a gym rat. Always seeing him hitting the mitts. Looked like he's kind of mimicking a little bit of Floyd Mayweather mitt work and just the way Floyd trains. The guy that's doing his trainer is holding the mitts. Looked like some Mayweather-ish type of stuff going on, but shit, Mayweather's an all-time great, so I'm not gonna knock the young kid for trying to mimic one of the all-time great fighters. Carlton Palmer says Parker doesn't have the power to hurt AJ by KO. Okay, well, shit. I guess AJ go in there and just say, "Here, hit me in the chin." You know what I mean? Let's see if he has power. I mean, if Dillian White was able to wobble him, I'm sure if Parker got a chance to really load up, I think he can wobble his ass too, man. I don't. And Dillian White to me isn't like when I think of the power punches of the heavyweight division, I don't even think of Dillian White, and he was able to wobble AJ momentarily. So I think if he was able to do it, I can see Parker doing it too. Mr. Somebody says Mr. Boxing today too versus Nestor Gibbs. And what? Shouts out to the boxing voice. K Black Boxing was good, man. Yeah, for sure. Hit that like button, man. Damn, people in here making fun of G Man. What he going through? That's man. YouTube is a crazy place, man. I don't even. Is y'all having some type of conversation in the where the hell is that even coming from? Chad. Somebody says Chad Dawson whooped on Bernard. Yeah, he did. That style was all wrong for Bernard, and Chad Dawson was not having his shit, man. And Bernard was trying to use all the veteran tricks, but it's hard when he's in there with a big, athletic, rangy fighter like that. Bernard, the old Bernard, when guys coming forward, power punching, straight line, well, except Kovalev, but like Pavlik, guys like that's gonna come at him like that. But shit, Kovalev was using the jab. He was kind of boxing with Bernard though. But rangy guys like that, a lot of punches, activity, that kind of give Bernard problems. Oh, okay, okay. Block who? Is that? I'm like trying to scroll down these comments, and I'm watching Roy versus Vinny Pazienza right now too, as I'm chopping it up with y'all. Eric R says I heard Bruce Lee showed Ali how to move circle away. I guarantee you, man, Ali knew that shit before he met Bruce. Not to say that Ali probably didn't, get some pointers from Bruce, but shit, Ali learned a lot from Sugar Ray Robinson too, man. So, but if he did, I mean, he did. Not taking it away from Bruce, but Ali, I'm sure Ali knew a lot of tricks before he even met Bruce Lee. St. Cruisin says Prime Holmes beats Tyson. You know what, man? Holmes was prone to being knocked down, man. He got knocked down a lot in his career. He got up and won now, and that's all Mike needs to see is just a glimmer of you being vulnerable, man. I think as much as I like Larry, and you guys know he's one of my three favorite fighters of all time. Ali, Foreman, and Holmes are my my favorite. I'm going to go with Tyson in that one. And I know when they fought, Holmes was showing the glimpses of the old Eastern assassin. But again, Mike is going to catch up to him. It's not like Holmes was super speedy in his prime, at least to me. He wasn't. He moved now. Don't get me wrong. He was a lot more nimble on his feet when he was younger. But Tyson would have caught up to him. Triple H 1200 says Ortiz needs tune-ups, not playing that Walters Loma game again. Shit, oh, well, that's good for you to say. It seems like Ortiz and his team, they want the big fights right now, according to them. But if he takes a tune-up, it's on him. But the way they talk, they want the best, the biggest and best fights right now. Pesh says George Foreman beats a prime Tyson. Yeah, I agree. CMD Boxing Reports was good, man. He says how long Ali was out the ring when he faced Frazier. What was it, 3? Was it 3.5, 4 years, something like that? Yeah, P Money, I agree, man. Ortiz been calling everybody out. I mean, why do we need a tune-up? David Turner said, "Do you think we look back at past heavyweight champions with rose-tinted glasses?" No, because a lot of these guys that I'm talking about, when I was watching it live and listening to people that were older than me, my father, my uncles, they were saying, because I'm listening to them watch, and they were, the adults around me, and they were viewing greatness and shit, and I was viewing greatness. So it's not like, I'm some guy that's going back and then, looking these guys up, didn't see them live, or, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just going off at the mouth talking about, man, I seen these guys, man, live. Just like I'm seeing these guys right now live. And to me, the skill level was much higher from a lot of the old fighters, man, to tell you the truth, for me. Some of you may think training's better and all that whole thing, and science and nutrition. Okay, fine, fair enough. But to me, skill level seemed like it was higher. Trap House Boxing was good, man. He says, people don't understand you don't have to have super power to hurt AJ because he gets tired. Yeah. Fatigue, man. Once fatigue, I've heard somebody say, fatigue can make a coward out of a man. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, once you get tired, man, anything can happen. Anything can happen. You're vulnerable as hell to get knocked out or to get hit with a good body shot that you don't see coming. Then your defense goes and just your chin is right there to get hit. You're not, elusive anymore. So, but AJ did show that he can fight tired. He did fight tired, man. I got to give him credit for being able to fight tired, because he could have easily just collapsed. Like, AJ could have scored that knockdown against Klitschko, got tired like he did. Let's say Klitschko finished him. People would have still been praising that performance. Like, hey, he went in there. He only had 18 fights. He knocked him down. He hurt him. Nobody's hurt Klitschko like that since. Who's the last guy to really hurt Klitschko like that? Was it Sam Peter? To really have him hurt like that. Or is it Brewster? You know what I mean? But people would have been riding with that, and then AJ was tired. Let's see a rematch. You know what I mean? So he was able to fight tired, man. He didn't just collapse. So I got to give him credit for that, though, man. He didn't collapse. But he might not be able to, people might not let him off the hook like that next time. And Klitschko was being very predictable with that lead left hook. I know why he was doing it, because he was successful with it. He landed a lot of lead left hooks on AJ, man. So Klitschko was looking at it like, that's the punch that's going to get him out of there. I already hit him with the right hand. He's probably expecting the right hand. Let me throw this lead left. But the thing is, he became predictable to where AJ was just ducking. He just kept ducking, and Klitschko kept going for it. I'm like, dude, why don't you feint the left hook or just throw a jab, get AJ to, because he's going to duck. That was like his first reaction, to duck, which is a smart thing. But it became predictable, and I thought Klitschko was going to try to throw the uppercut, and he never went to it. And then by that time, Joshua caught a second win. So like, y'all getting into it, man. I'm missing these comments, man. There's comments below I'm trying to scroll slowly, see what's going on. See if there's some questions. 25 Tybone said, do you know anything about the guy fighting next week? Hainsworth? Nah, there's no no footage of him, man. I actually did a video about that. You go on YouTube, type in Hainsworth versus Jennings, and I said there's no footage, but from what I've read and what I've seen, he isn't a guy that's been knocked out 7 times or anything like that, and he's a pretty decent guy for a unknown journeyman level type of guy. As far as what I've read and him not being knocked out a whole bunch of times. And there was something else that I read on him. Some sparring. He was sparring with somebody. He gives somebody good work. I forgot who. But I expect Jennings to take care of business, though. Lucas Brown versus Dillian White. I'm going with Dillian White. Things will be an interesting fight. Interesting fight, but Dillian White better be aware of single power shots from Lucas Brown. I think Lucas Brown's going to try to just land big left hooks, big right hands, singles. So I think White should use some outboxer skill in this fight. If he gets close and try to dig body, I mean, it'd be entertaining for us, but I think his best bet way to win this fight is move a little bit. Not like Ali, he had to move on the ring like that. But throw combos, get up out of there. Throw combos, get up out of there. Stand in front of Lucas. When I say stand in front of him, have his guard up, ready to catch, pitch and catch. But, you know, don't get into a slugfest because then that's going to give Lucas Brown a better chance of winning, in my opinion. Jamie Craig says, who you got winning the Cruiserweight Super Series? Before the tournament began, before they even placed the seedings, my 2 favorites were Usyk and Breedis, and they're fighting next. So the winner out of that. But Dorticos and Garcia is going to be a good fight. I'm gonna go with the dark horse, man. I'm gonna go with Dorticos to beat Garcia in a mild upset, and I think he's going to lose to the winner out of Breedis and Usyk. But I think Usyk's going to win the tournament, though. Fee Kebab says David Price better not be fighting. He's fixing my single. Yeah, Price, man, very hard puncher, power, you know, but the chin doesn't match up. And then I don't know what he was doing in the Christian Hammer fight, but during his comeback, he weighed, what, 275 pounds or something. And I remember doing a video about it, and he wanted to put on this weight. And I'm thinking to myself, like, are you putting on the weight because you think it's going to help your chin, man? I mean, now you guys can say, who are you? You're just a dude on YouTube. Okay, fair enough. But I think damn near everybody know that just trying to add muscle to protect your chin? Nah, I don't see that. Y'all have to hold on, man. My wife asked me where should we have dinner at or lunch at. Let me. All right, let me see what y'all talking about. If I'm missing some of y'all questions, man, my bad. I'm trying to get through this. I'm like halfway watching this Pazienza and Jones fight, and I'm trying to answer some questions too. Trying to get my boxing fix in before I leave, man. Bob Foster versus the current light heavyweights, especially the punchers. Man, Foster, wiry, hard puncher, kind of out of that Tommy Hearns cloth, but Foster was before Hearns, but you get what I'm saying, though. Foster, all-time great. I'll give him a chance to beat any light heavyweight. And that's not me looking at the old guy or the old fighter as one guy said, rose-tinted glasses. He has the skill. He was in shape, and huge power, a guy that tried to step up and face the best, came up short. Foster did when he went up to heavyweight, but I think he can hang with the light heavyweights of today. Shame there's no footage of Robinson in his prime. Yeah, it's a shame, man. I would have, man, no welterweight footage at all. Trap House says, I don't like the new way of boxing that much. I've been in some gyms that don't even start off with footwork anymore. Some gyms, not at all. Damn, they don't start with footwork. Usually that's the first thing a gym should teach you is footwork, how to move your damn feet. Before they try to teach you how to throw a combination, if you ain't got the proper balance and don't know how to move, you know what I'm saying? They shouldn't even teach you. To me, man, the way, at least the gym that I went to, it was footwork and then it was head movement. Before you even threw punches, you know how cats get in there and they want to spar the first day. It's like, bruh, learn how to move your damn feet first and move your head first. You know what I'm saying? You talking about throwing punches and combinations. And I seen dudes go in the gym. In the gym I was at, man, it wasn't like no, you probably went to a similar type of gym too, man. But this gym was in the hood and it was not no YMCA type of shit where, I don't know, man, there's like different types of gyms, man, you know, but it wasn't ran like that. It was, if you went in there talking about something you want to spar, they'll let you do it. You know what I'm saying? And let you I seen dudes go in there and get their ass kicked, man, get busted noses, all that shit, go in there, get their ass whooped and then not come back to the gym. But then I've been to some gyms where, you know, you got to keep your shirt on and no loud rap music, profanity and all that type of shit. Like, man, we in here fighting. You know what I mean? I like those. I don't like that new plush. No, I like them sweaty, musty. I like them type of gyms where it's hot, 105 degrees. I like those type of gyms, man, where you can damn near feel y'all so packed in. You can feel sweat from everybody in there flying around because it's so packed in. Everybody doing their work or people sparring. You know what I'm saying? I like those types of gyms, man. That type of gym was the gym that I sparred Rob Brandt at and Javante Stark when I sparred them years ago. It was that type of gym. Big man, you want some work? Yeah, shit, I ain't gonna turn down the work. I can't turn down the work now. Now you didn't announced it and everybody, as soon as they said, everybody just looked at me. Can't say no now. Whether it was my first time or not, I had to get in there. Well, I didn't have to, but they would have looked at me like I was a big bitch. Being I was the biggest person in the gym. Rob Lee says, what's the deal? I can't call it, man. Just trying to get some boxing talk in, man. Trying to get my fix in before I go out with the family. So I'm fielding some questions. Did I like Gerry Cooney? Yeah. Somebody asked me did I like Gerry Cooney? Yeah, I like Gerry Cooney. Like the Norton fight. Cooney, you know, when he started, you know, when he was on his run, he was a powerful guy going in there, demolishing guys, looked like the next best thing, power puncher. Yes, he was white. Let's not act like that wasn't one of the big reasons of his popularity, because he was a white heavyweight. Coming, looked like he was going to start destroying shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they put him in there with the King of Kings, the champ, and he came up short. And he lost other fights when he, lost to Foreman, lost to Spence and stuff like that. But, then he beat Lau too. I believe he beat Ron Lau too. So, he just looked like he was on just destroying guys, man. Rohan Brown says, who do you think will win George Arias versus Dave Allen? And who would you like to see it? Gentleman George Arias versus Dave Allen. That's a toss-up. I think that's a 50-50 fight. 50-50, but shit, man. Dave Allen could possibly pull the upset, man. I mean, because George Arias just went tooth and nail against Mario Heredia. He got knocked down and everything. It was pretty. It's on YouTube. It's actually a pretty damn entertaining fight. I think that's 50-50, man. I think that's 50-50. C-Max says, nah, you bugging about the 100-degree gym. No, I'm not bugging, man. I'm not. I don't know if you mean I'm bugging like, nah, I don't want to train like that, or it was 100. Nah, man, the gym I was at, man, it was so hot. The dude would have the owner of the gym would have the temperature up hot as hell, man. But to me, like, I mean, you get a good sweat just changing into your stuff. I mean, soon you put that, I mean, you can be putting your hand wraps on, just skipping rope. I mean, you're going to have a full sweat just doing that. But nah, I liked it like that, man. I liked it like that. It's not for everybody, you know what I mean? But I liked it like that. St. Cruisin says footwork position is everything. Yeah. Balance, man. You got to have some damn balance, man. You got to be able to know how to move forward, move backwards, move side to side. Not cross your feet over. And just working on your foot movement, you can get a damn good workout just on that. I remember when I used to go, man, just like head movement drills, just doing that. Not even throwing punches, just doing those drills, full workouts. You'll be tired as hell after a day of working on foot movement and head movement. Leo O'Donnell, what's up, man? He says, who are your top prospects for 2018? All the medal winners from the Olympics. Well, I'm assuming you're talking, well, I'm gonna just keep it heavyweights, but all the medal winners, Yoka, Herkovich, Klitschko, Joyce, and then you could throw Serenko in there, Teslenko and Serenko, Dubois. There's a lot of them, man. I'm gonna get the name of them. There's a lot of them. Lawrence Williams, I appreciate that, man. He says, respect your opinions. Thanks for holding it down for the heavyweights. Yeah, gotta hold it down. And man, I've been holding it down for the heavyweights for a while, man. For a while. Even I've been on YouTube so long, y'all. I was holding it down for heavyweights when fans were saying these statements. It's boring. I can't pronounce these guys' names. They're Euro bums. What was another one that people used to always leave in the comment section? And I'm talking about when my videos would get like 106 views, 92 views. Not to knock nobody that's getting those numbers, but now obviously my channel, or this channel, is a lot bigger than my first channel. But yeah, I mean, guys will still come to the videos, but if I did a video on Mayweather, then I'll get a lot of hits. But, talking about Povetkin versus Mariusz Wach, probably about 6 comments. You know what I'm saying? Jennings versus Spilka, probably 4 comments. So I've been on that long, man. I got very bad connection. Can y'all still hear me? Let me know if y'all can still hear me, man. Rohan Brown says, Andrew Ruiz Jr. versus Oscar Rivas, who you think will win? And would you like to see that fight? Hell yeah, I'd like to see that fight. And I would favor Ruiz. I think Ruiz has the experience. He has, man, that dude got a chin on him, man. Ruiz got a chin on him. Man, before I get to that, what I think of that fight, though, did y'all ever see that it's a video on YouTube, man. I forgot who Andy is sparring, but he's in the, what gym is he in? He's in the wild card. Out of shape as hell. He looked like the damn Michelin man in there. He'll tell you himself that he was way out of shape, and he was tagging somebody, man. it was almost like, damn, look at this dude, man. Like, it almost looked like a parody or something, man. Like, he was beating the hell out of us. And then shit, he even gave Parker some work. And Parker even talked about it before their fight when they sparred in Vegas. He was giving Parker all he wanted in sparring, and he was out of shape. Juan Alvarez says, can Usyk do damage at heavyweight when he moves up? There's some intriguing matchups, man, for Usyk. So as far as do damage, as far as being able to compete in certain matchups, yeah. I think him and Parker right now will be an intriguing matchup right now. Him and Dillian White. Fights like that. You know what I mean? But I don't think he can beat Wilder, Joshua. I wouldn't favor him against Ortiz right now. But when he moves up, I did a video in the summer with Usyk, and he said he wanted to move up. I believe it was 2 or 3 years, he said. So maybe by then, but then shit, man. Then that's when the prospects are going to make their way up. But let's take a guy like Junior Fa. Somebody asked me about Junior Fa too in the comment section. Maybe I can scroll up or in the chat. But Usyk schooled Fa in the World Series of Boxing. And I asked Fa who was the best fighter you ever been in the ring with. And he told me Usyk. I did an interview with him. You guys go to my playlist, check out my fighter interviews. I asked Fa who's the best fighter you've been in the ring with. He said Usyk. He just quick. It wasn't, and he fought Parker 4 times in the amateurs. He won 2, lost 2. He said Usyk before I damn near finished the question. So Usyk dominated the super heavyweights in the World Series of Boxing. Peanut Butter and Cracker says, and in the red corner, Andy the Michelin Man Ruiz. Yeah, man, and it's, you know, he looks like that, and the boy got hands, man. That boy got a chin on him, man. And he throw fast combinations. He comes to get it, man. Andy comes to get it. Although his physique is lacking, but he comes to get it. C-Max says, why we don't see any female boxing channels on YouTube. No, that's not true, man. What's her name, man? There's a few. Now I can't. A female boxing fan 1, I believe that's her username. Ashley's Corner. There's a few of them. It's not, you know, it's not a lot of them, but there are some though. Peanut Butter and Cracker says Usyk so nimble for 200-pounder. Yeah, good movement with his feet, and also where he bends at the waist and he can move his head and counter and parry shots, and you know what I mean? He moves like a fighter. Fluid. I like guys who are fluid movers, man, where they don't look forced or robotic, or not to me, but that doesn't mean that those guys can't win fights. But I just like and I appreciate when I see somebody who moves like a fighter. I see y'all talking about low place in the comment section. Me and him always disagree. He makes some good points sometimes, but sometimes I think he's just like to play devil's advocate, but he makes some good points though. He may say the same thing about me, shit. But shouts out to low place. As far as when me and him go back and forth about boxing. James Coleman, what it do, man? Was good. Trap House Boxing says, yep, those hot gyms are the shit. You'll be drenched after skipping rope or while doing stretches. Yeah, man, you skip rope, do stretches, look like you done been in there. You have to damn near, I know the gym I was at, man, you have to take your shirt off and wring that motherfucker out. And days that is real hot and humid, they used to just raise the garage door up and let that air come in. Mia Dan says, did you ever thought to start boxing? Yeah, I did, man. I did. But the thing was, I did about, it's 2017 now. So that was 7 years ago. About 7, 8 years ago. And that's because when I went to the gym, now always, was slap boxing, and you know how you with your homeboys and or your brothers or cousins or whatever it is, and y'all just do like with your bare fist, you would just do like all body shots, like a all body shots match, that type of shit, or you slap boxing or stuff like that. I always did little shit like that. And then 2009, I really wanted to start mixing up the way I work out. I was always playing basketball, so I wanted to just leave that alone and try to do something else. And so I'm a huge boxing fan. I like working out, looking for something different. So I went to a boxing gym. The first one I went to was kind of like the YMCA type of stuff, where it was, it just wasn't my thing. It was too up. It was just up to, I don't know. It was just wasn't my thing. So then the other gym I went to, that's when I was like, man, I probably want to get in there and fight. And then, was only in there for like a few weeks, man. Still learning the basics. And the next thing you know, I was in sparring. And, but a sport like boxing, man, you got to be able to give that 110%. And it's a tough way to make a living. You can get seriously hurt. It goes without saying, but you can get seriously hurt going in there playing around, man. That's something you have to have supreme dedication to want to be a boxer, man. And I just don't have that time right now. Owning the business, kids. I don't have it right now. Now, if I would have shown that same passion for it to want to do it when I was a kid, like I was with basketball, then probably I would have done it. But my uncle, he was in boxing back in Chicago. He didn't turn pro, but he had some amateur fights. And my other uncle, he was always getting to the fights outside on the streets. He was in the gang back in the day, and he was always getting into fights, man. Always getting into fights. So, and I remember when my uncle, the uncle that's 9 years older than me, my youngest one, he would always beat my ass, man. Like when I was 9, 10, he motherfucking, 18, 19, he was always beat the shit out of me, man. Like, as far as like, body shots and stuff like that, I don't mean like literally for real giving me a whooping with a belt, but just like, roughing me up, thumping me upside the head, little shit like that. And I punch his ass back. And I was always big for my age. You know what I mean? When I was in 6th grade, I was 5'11". I'm 6'5". I stopped growing in 9th grade. But so I'll sock his ass back, man. He like, boy, you got some heavy hands. And then proceed to thumping me up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, thought about it briefly in 2009, 2010, man, but I was like, I don't have the time for it. And this is not something I would want to do it like it's a part-time job. You have to show a lot of dedication, man. But and that's why I respect guys that start late. I respect those guys, man. Leo Donald says, who are your favorite journeyman heavyweights, past and present? I don't know, man. My favorite journeyman. I don't know. Right now, Reese, I have to say Jamal Woods right now. Tricky. He's been in there with some of who's who. And just a tricky guy for your prospect to be in there with, man. Very tricky. Burt Cooper. was a good journeyman that I liked. I liked his style. He'll come to get it. That fight he had against Holyfield on what did he have, like 7 days notice? Damn near beat Evander. I remember that. I remember that live. I remember watching that one live. Damn near beat Evander, man. I really don't know about favorite. James Coleman says, I don't understand why you don't have your own podcast yet, because a lot of these people don't know nothing. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man, with my channel too, man, I'm trying to just mix it up a little bit, man. Like I said on the other Boxing Talk Live, I said that I'm going to get away from the whole 7-8 videos a day thing. I think I outgrew that a little bit. I know there's people that still do it. That's fine. That's cool. But I want to just head into a different direction instead of doing those. So-and-so said this. So-and-so said that. So-and-so said that. Like, it just gets kind of boring. Plus, I just don't have the time to edit videos like that no more. Juan Alfred says, why don't you activate Super Chat? I would like to donate, and I'm sure other would too. I'll look into that, man. I don't even know how to do the damn Super Chat. Let me see if there's something I can turn on. How the hell do you even do a Super Chat? Let's see. I don't know how to do it. I'll look into it, man. If y'all want to donate, that's cool too, man. I appreciate that. Who's your top 5 heavyweights right now? Corey Lee. What's good, Corey Lee? Let's see here. Top 5 heavyweights right now. Joshua, Wilder, Ortiz, Parker, Povetkin, and Fury. I know Fury's out. Let's take Fury. I'm gonna say Povetkin. I know people say, "Well, I'm just gonna be honest about it, man." Before the Wilder fight, see, man, if I gotta stay consistent with shit I say, man. So before the Wilder fight, I said that Povetkin, in my opinion, is a top 5 heavyweight. Or before the fight was scheduled to take place, rather, with Wilder, I said he has the second best resume to Vladimir Klitschko at that present time. And I thought he was a legit top 5 heavyweight. So I know he's had drug testing issues, but as far as what I've seen from him, his pedigree, guys who he's beaten, especially early in his career when he was fighting like Larry Donald and Bird and all those guys, the win over Takum, that's a very intriguing fight, that Takum fight. I thought that was a good fight. I got Povetkin in there too, so. Somebody said, D. Obanuli says, you'll see in due time about Big Baby. Hey, hopefully Big Baby does emerge, man. I like Big Baby Miller. Joe Rogan gets $7.5 million a month off his podcast, which is tied into other social media platforms and merchandise. Go get this money. I'll look into it, man. I'll definitely look into a Super Chat and all that type of stuff. Or a podcast. Should I do podcasts? Y'all let me know if I should try to do podcasts, man. Corey Lee says, what's your top 5 up-and-coming heavyweights? Now, there's 2 stages of prospects to me. Well, prospects / contenders, and then like the prospects with like under 10 fights type shit. So Jarrell Miller, well, because once you beat a title contender, a guy that competed for a title, you're no longer a prospect. So I won't put Miller in there, but just the prospects like Yoka, Herkovic, or Herkovich, Konowski, he is a... See, he just beat Spilka. Spilka competed for a title. I like Herkovic, man, the Romanian kid, man. I know some of y'all probably like, huh, what about Dubois? And I mean, there's a lot of guys. You got F.A. Ajagba, Teslenko, Alexander Teslenko. I like his style. I like Sorenko, who's working with James Lee Bashir. It's really hard to judge, man, because a lot of these dudes look so dynamic in their first little 3-4 fights or first fight because they're fighting overmatched opponents. Joyce beat Ian Lewis, and I like Joe Joyce. I like his experience, and he is a full-grown man, so I think he needs to be pushed quick because he's already in his 30s. You know what I mean? So he needs to be pushed quick. Plus, this dude, he spars some of them everybody. Brazil, Stavern, Joshua, obviously, Furies. I mean, he's been around the world and some. He's fought top amateurs for years, man. Carlton Palmer says Yoka's poor, in my opinion, and looked poor. Trap House Boxing says, bro, boxing would be in the world of hurt without you, Mr. Box, today. I think your channel is pound for pound the best thus far that know of. It's easier to talk about boxing with you because, you know, we share similar. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And when I say I appreciate it, I really do, man, because like I said on my old channel now, I have guys that came regular to my channel. That's why I got like Blood Boxing. I bring him up a lot, whether you guys don't like him or, you know, he always showed love on my first channel. He was the first one I did a collab with? Because I always respected his channel from like 2007, 2008. He was doing like historic pieces, and he was talking about, you know, old school. I'm drawn to fans who have an appreciation for the old school, man. I'm just drawn to other fans like that. Nothing wrong if you don't know nothing about the old school. You just started watching boxing in 2010, that's cool too. You know what I mean? Nothing to, you know, because fans are fans, you know, but I really drawn to uploaders who have an appreciation for old fighters. You have to think that they're the best of all time, but just you have an appreciation, and you're not just look at boxwork real quick and say, huh, he lost 7 times, and, you know, all that type of shit. I like the guys who have a real appreciation. And old school meaning 90s, 80s, 70s. I'm not just talking 1920s and 30s, but even that too. So yeah, Blood used to come to my old videos. There's a few people who still rock me to this day that was coming to those old videos where I was only getting 50 views, 106 views, you know what I mean? D-style boxing. There's, you know, a handful of guys, man. Even some of the commenters, not just uploaders, but some of the commenters. St. Cruisin', Triple H 1200. I'm trying to see people that are in here that was leaving comments on my old channel. You guys know who you are, man. If I forget you, I know, you know that I know. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate it, man. Fat Apples, what's good, man? Oh yeah, and then I'm hearing, was it the Wilder thing? Oh yeah, Roz Cloud 222 is another one. See, I hate naming uploaders, man, because I forget people, man, who've been rocking with me, and I've been rocking with them. Roz Cloud 222 has a YouTube channel too. MOBC in the house, right? The MOBC, But yeah, about the, was it Wilder? I guess there was reports out. I've seen a lot of videos on it now. Wilder and Hearn, was it the 13? Now, what was this shit? Was it 10 million? He said 10 million pound, and that equals what, 13 million in US dollars? So whatever it is, 13 million, 10 million, whatever. My thing is just, I would like to hear from both sides, and I've always been like, I just want to hear what both sides got to say. But to be really honest with y'all, man, I don't give a fuck. I just don't care no more. I don't care, man. Like, let me know when the fight's done. All this whole cat and mouse, because when it's just going to come down to who do you believe? Whose side do you want to believe? That's all it's going to come down to. And to me, all promoters lie. So I'm not with this whole, he doesn't lie. You know, they all lie, man. That's their job, to hype things up when a fight that you know is bullshit. And they're selling it to you like this is going to be fucking Ali Frazier. And you know it's a bullshit fight. These dudes lie to maximize the dollar, to sell their fighter to the public. Is what they're supposed to do. So I don't know who to believe. And at this point, just make the fight. Sometimes being on social media, man, you can get involved in these arguments about shit that really, when you were coming up watching boxing, you never even cared about. Like when I was coming up, man, like when I was watching, let me just think of a fight. You know, when Rockman, when I was sitting with my uncles watching Rockman and Lewis 2, we wasn't talking about no damn money and purse splits and who sells tickets. We weren't talking about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So some of these arguments, sometimes I take a step back like, hold on, so when did I start caring about that? Like, I don't even care about none of that. But as far as the money now, if that is true, let's say it is true. That is a lot of money to turn down. It's a lot more than he's ever made. But then it's like, what percent is that? Is that 10 million? Is that like a 20% cut of what to be made? You know, there's so many things that's left out. It's just like, he turned down this. It's like, okay, but what about everything else? What percent is that 10, 13 million dollars or whatever? If that's the case, I did hear from DeBella, and he was saying that negotiations really haven't started. Serious ones. Yes, they did. I know him and Shelly Finkel were supposed to meet, but just because you have a little quick meeting, I mean, it could be a bullshit meeting. If there's no paperwork drawn up and all that type of stuff, just call me when the fight's made, man. Or if you're going to fight somebody else, just let me know when you're fighting next. All that other stuff, I just really don't care about, man. I just don't. I'm not their accountant. I don't care about none of that. Now, some people say, but you have to care somewhat. No, I don't. I just want to be a fan, man. I just want to be a boxing fan that just likes to watch fights, break down styles, and talk about things that I enjoy watching the fight game. That's my YouTube channel. I'm not here to act like I'm an insider and I know, man, I'm not sitting in them damn negotiations. I'm not a fly on the wall. Like, I'm just speaking for me. You know what I mean? I like to talk about old fighters, old fights, things I like now, matchups I would like to see, style breakdowns, prospects, fighters I like growing up watching, fight parties with my family, fight parties with my homeboys. You know what I mean? That's shit I like talking about. And that might not be for everybody. Somebody says, D. Obianali says, no WBC Ortiz talk. They stopped him. I think it's good that he got his ranking back and he's ready to go. Just next time when you're filling out paperwork, just don't forget to say what you're putting in your system or what you need for medication or whatever it is. But if he has this like heart problems or something, shouldn't he be like really getting checked up about that? Damn, boxing, just his overall health as a person. Shouldn't he, you know what I mean? If that's the reason, for real, it's like, man, is he even really fit to be fighting? And if he ain't, he's a bad man. Man, got heart problems in there whooping ass? Like, I don't think people are looking at it from that point of view. But as far as him being back, I like Ortiz. Like I said, I don't really have a favorite heavyweight right now, but as far as style, his style, I like the most. I like that tricky, calm, patient style that he's used. He's real surgical with the left hand, like throw the uppercut, the straight left. I like his style. If I'm training, let's say I'm training my son, I would train him to fight in that style. Move your head in little subtle ways, catch and pitch a little bit. You know what I mean? Good footwork. You know, I like Ortiz style. JD says, if we're interested in call-outs, we should be interested in negotiations too. A call-out doesn't make a fight. I don't think you really okay, I don't know if I'm not articulating myself for you to understand. I'm not conveying the message the right way. What I'm telling you is, bro, I've grown tired of it. If Wilder came out tomorrow and called out AJ, okay, great. I'm not going to make a video. Call me when the fight gets made. I don't think, because my other channel, man, I really wasn't in the so-and-so call, so-and-so out. I only got into that with this channel because people kept asking me, what do you think about this call out? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? So now I'm just letting y'all know I don't care about any of that no more. I just don't. And I know some of you say, oh, you're just saying it because it's AJ. No, because when Wilder said something, I did the post-fight video on Stavern. That was it. Or yeah, I did the post-fight video on their fight, and that was it, man. All the call-outs, I just don't care no more. I mean, I'll read the article on Boxing Scene and say, oh, that's cool. I have, I'll say, oh, that's great, but I'm just more interested in the fights. They can do all that. While they're doing all that, that's the beauty of old fights. I'm going to go back and watch some Larry Holmes. Or yesterday, I went and watched Roy Jones versus Thornton and Roy Jones versus Griffin 1 and 2. That's how I'm going to spend my time, man. I'm not about to spend my time reading a million articles about nothing. Me, that's just me. Now, if you want to be, y'all do your thing, man. I'm going to just do me. That's how I'm going to pass my time. Fat Apple says, fuck medicine, BS issues. We just want Wilder versus Ortiz fight. Yeah, we do. I'm just saying, just make sure you're filling out whatever you need to fill out to not let the WBC have any reason or try to find and nitpick their way to, not let you get fights, whatever it is, man. Just fill out every box on that motherfucker, man. Just do what you need to do, man. Roz Clock 222 says, watch Holmes versus Norton. I edged Norton. I thought Holmes edged that one out. I watched that so many damn times, man. I don't know if you're talking to somebody else in the comment section, but I've watched that so many damn times. St. Cruisin says Wilder is no all-time great. Long way to go. Yeah. Yep. Wilder's nowhere near all-time great. P Money says he fucked up point blank, period. So did the WBC. Yeah, the WBC, they're saying that we made a mistake now. Yeah. Man, all these sanctioned bodies is bullshit to me. They're enforcing certain mandatories, their rankings. Man, I'm looking at some of these rankings, and look, I'm not going to be humble on this one. On this part, I'm not going to be humble, man. I'm not going to be a humble fan. When it comes to heavyweight boxing, I don't need none of their rankings to tell me anything. I have a good understanding of guys who should be getting title shots. And just looking at some of these, and then where they got some of these dudes ranked, and just all the sanctioned bodies. I mean, Stavern, the WBC, last I checked, put him at number 15. You look at WBO, Tom Schwartz, Kairotoro Fujimoto. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like Huey Fury getting his title shot against Parker. Who did he beat to get the title shot, man? His last fight before that was Fred Cassie. And I remember before they were trying to pick the mandatory, because remember, David Haye was going to get the winner out of Parker versus Ruiz. He chose to make his money cool on him, and he ended up wanting to fight Tony Bellew. So I was like, okay, at least that was a name, you know what I mean? Although he beat fucking Mark DeMore and Arnold Jerigai, but it's like, okay, it's a name. There's some luster there. Maybe he still got it. Let's see. But then you put Huey Fury, who's really I had him rated as a top 5 prospect. Then I'm like, damn, he's getting a title shot. He just beat Fred Cassidy. Although Fred Cassidy is a guy. Speaking of, whoever asked me that question about journeymen that I like right now, Fred Cassidy's another one. Very debatable fights against Brazil and Areola. Very debatable. But anyways, he beat Fred Cassidy, and I'm like, damn, that you get a title shot off that? So I was thinking like, damn, why don't they have? Because at the time it was Huey Fury and not Ortiz, but Jarrell Miller were like right there in the rankings. I'm like, man, make that fight, and the winner of that get the title shot. It's like thinking like that is that's just too simple, man. It's way too simple. Fat Apple says Amir Mansour, one of the best boxers in America, hasn't been ranked for ages. The last time I seen he was ranked, he was like number 15 on the WBO. He might still be number 15, but he was barely made it. Barely. And I'm just like, damn, man. Yeah, but I think Huey Fury, Fat Apple says, yeah, but I think Huey Fury deserved a shot more than Stavern. I mean, at least he beat Radenko more comfortably than Povetkin. Stavern has 300 pounds past prime Areola. Man, neither of them motherfuckers deserve the title shot. I mean, I'm in favor of 2 guys that are in the top 4 or the 2 highest rated available guys fighting for a mandatory. Preferably 1 and 2, depending on if number 2, and I mean with the fresh rankings, not the, guys that number 2 and he's going to be removed soon. Not that type of shit, but just like, that should be the guys getting title shots, man. Just like when they made Brazil versus Eric Molina. Remember, then the WBC reneged on it. They're going to have but Molina in Brazil for the mandatory. And I'm like, huh? How you going to have the number 6 and number 12 guy for the mandatory spot? And I don't care what nobody say. I think they seen social media, the backlash. I know people say, well, Eddie Hearn said something. No, it wasn't just Eddie Hearn, man. It was the whole boxing universe that was saying some shit about that. Just didn't make any sense. I'm like, dude, the logical thing is to have White versus Brazil. Why is this so complicated, man? Boxing, just, hey, that's life as a boxing fan, man. Life as a boxing fan. No, the end of the WBC, oh, boy. Oh, man. I can go all day with the WBC, man. They just sitting there like, the smart thing to do? We're going to have Brazil fight Molina and then White fight Helenius. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. Trap House Boxing says, do you think Big Baby might be new Cinderella in the heavyweights? Man, he is... Tough to say. But somebody that weighs that much, man, and has the motor that he has, he seems to have a hard-ass cranium, man. That dude, like, he can take some shots. He comes forward. Now, he hasn't been in there with the hard hitters, you know what I mean? But he has a motor. He comes forward. He wants to go to the body. You know what, man? He may be, but Adam Konowski is somebody that I'm looking at too. His physique isn't going to wow you. His speed, the way he throws his punches, nothing's going to wow you, but he's committed to the body. He has a solid chin. And I think people are going to really underestimate him. And he's like a bigger version of Ruiz. Andy Ruiz got better hand speed. But I'm talking about a guy with that type of physique. Some people may say, man, he ain't no better than a prime Chris Areola. Fair enough. But I'm curious to see what he does, man. Tell you the truth. Rise Cloud 222 says, Big Baby is big, but he doesn't have power. I don't think he has one punch power. But I think he is a guy, if he starts putting them on you, accumulation, and he can use that physicality and grind you down, I think he start busting you up. But it doesn't seem like it's that one punch, like a Deontay Wilder type of power, or even the power that Joshua has. But I do think I think his physicality could overcome some opponents and chopping you down. Now, he has looked devastating, though. Don't get it wrong. Like I know people will say, but who the hell is Donovan Dennis? But he looked devastating in that fight. He looked devastated. He looked scary in that fight. Yeah, y'all gives a thumbs up, man. Toby the Tank said, do you think Ernie Shavers would have beaten Foreman? No. It could have been like a Ron Lau Foreman part 2. It could have been like that, but no. I think if Foreman would have hurt Shavers, I think he would have just finished him. If it had been Shavers hurt Foreman, I think Foreman would have got up. I know it's easy to say, but that's what I believe what would have happened. Blood boxing was good, man. Enjoyed that. I enjoyed that hangout, man. That you did earlier. It was pretty damn funny. Talking about the grade, the big ass block cell phones, and having a beeper, and Eric R says Holmes, Foreman, Prime. I answered this one already, bro, but Holmes. I think Holmes beat Foreman in the late 70s, and I think he beats him through that 1991 to 1994 range when they were both. I'll favor Holmes. Man, Blood had me cracking up on that. Blood had me cracking up on his hangout earlier today, man. Blood was one of the first, like I said, man, Blood's the first YouTube channel as far as boxing that I started watching, man. In 2008, 7, somewhere around there, he was the first one. The first one. It was him and these two white dudes, man. What was their name? Boxing for Real. And what's so funny is I came to YouTube because I always used to be on eastsideboxing.com under the name Monster of the Midway from like 2004 to about 2010 or some shit like that. But I used to always be on there. Like that was my communication with boxing fans. Then when YouTube kicked in, the first YouTube video I watched was Kimbo Slice. One of my homeboys was like, hey man, you seen bum fights? This is one bum. We thought he was a bum because he was on the Bum Fights DVD. But somebody was like, pull up that bum fight of old boy, that Kimbo dude. And then I'm looking, I'm like, man, bums don't wear big ass gold chains with fists on them and jumping out of Humvees. Like, I think the DVD is just called Bum Fights. You know what I mean? But anyways, that video was on this platform called YouTube. So I'm like, shit, what else can you see on YouTube? So I typed in, the first thing I typed, I don't know why, it was just on my mind. I typed in Tua versus Beabuche, just see if it'll pop up. Nothing popped up, but other boxing shit did. So then, the first time I actually looked for uploaders, prediction videos, I had typed in, it was De La Hoya Mayweather. That's the first thing, well, it wasn't the first thing because it was the Kimbo things I seen, but that's the first video I seen of a fan giving his prediction. And seen the two white dudes boxing for real, whatever their name is. Somebody leave that in the comment. I know Blood probably remember their name. And then I seen Blood boxing. Then I was like, damn, let me listen to this Blood boxing dude, man. So I'm listening. And Blood, like I said, Blood, I was talking about this shit earlier, man, but he's doing like historical pieces. Yeah, Ashy Knuckles is another one. Rosclad 222. See, that's why I hate bringing up names. But Blood was the first guy that I watched on YouTube, man. And then I started watching everybody else, D-Style, Ashy Knuckles, Chris Carlson, Carcino, and everybody else, man. Um, so yeah, man, I was like, damn. And then Blood, just the way he would break down the videos and then the way he talked about the fights. It wasn't like some ESPN shit, you know, where he was being politically correct and all, you know, just talking like you at the barber shop or you at a fight party. Or I'm talking to my uncles or some shit or my cousins or one of my homies. It was like that. You know what I mean? It's like laid back, just boxing talk. And then, like I said, he had appreciation for the old school fighters. Then I'm like, damn. So then that got me watching YouTube more and staying off of East Side Boxing because people come to the comment section and I just go back and forth to the comment section on that as I'm watching the video. You know what I mean? Then probably like 6 months. Well, no, not 6 months. But then so that was like 2008. Then 2010, I was like, man, I'm going to make my own video. The first video I made on YouTube was, it was Cotto Mayorga prediction. So it was December 2010. It was the first video I did. And then after that, but I knew I'm about to talk about heavyweights. And I just knew, just by looking at everybody's videos, nobody wanted to fucking hear about Robert Helenius and Sam. You know, there's nobody want to hear about that type of shit. So I would talk about the other weight classes. I watched them too, the other weight classes, but heavyweights is my thing. So then I just started dropping heavyweight videos. And then the first collab I did either was with Carcino or Blood. It was around the same times. And we know Carcino was on his Mayweather thing, him and Boxing Socialist. They was on that Mayweather-Pacquiao thing. And then I brought Blood on and we did a collab. And we talked about Holmes, Tyson, just all the old heavyweights, man. Because that's the shit I wanted to talk about. Is heavyweight boxing. I'm getting off on some other shit now. I see y'all leaving a grip of comments. Yeah, Blood be having me cracking up when he get angry too, man. It should be funny as hell. That passion, you know what I mean? Because when you watch ESPN, ain't nobody gonna be, well, shit. Teddy Atlas gets passion. But, you know, I'm saying from a fan's perspective, man. You can't get it nowhere but YouTube. Or at least then, you know, now they got Facebook and all these other platforms. But it's like you could be raw on here. You know what I'm saying? That's what I liked about this platform. So then I started to do the shit. Rosclot 222 says, damn, man, you make me reminisce. Yeah, man. Prediction videos. That's why I used to always come in here and look for prediction videos. Because I knew what I think about the fights. Like, damn, let me see what that Blood Boxing dude think about this shit. Listen to him. You know what I'm saying? Or what Dragon Style or D Style now, but what do he think about this shit? Or what Rosclot 22. You know what I mean? That's just how it started. Then the videos turned into like as more uploaders started to upload on YouTube, then the videos were different. Then it was fans going at each other, or different uploaders going at each other, and negotiation talk, and it went from prediction videos and it grew into something different. Right now it's he say she say videos, and people are pretending as if they're in the room with the negotiation video, you know, all that type of stuff, man. So I don't know, man. Julian Foster, yeah, he used to do the fantasy fights and shit, you know, Foreman versus Tyson. He would break them down how he thought they would go and things like that. Yeah, I remember that. Fat Apple says faster heavyweights than Ali Prime. No, not many faster heavyweights than Ali Prime. I don't think nobody was, man. I don't think nobody was. That's just God-gifted ability right there, man. I was watching one of the training clips of Ali. He has many of them, but it's the one where he's just in the ring. I forget which training camp it was for, but he's just moving around the ring. He's in the ring by himself, just moving around. The footwork is just I can't even explain it, man. The footwork, he could move and throw punches at the same time. That sounds simple, right? Moving and throwing punch, but fluid, fast combinations as he's moving backwards. But what you know what's so crazy about that? You know what fans call it nowadays? Running. They call it running. Crazy. Stand and fight like a man. That's the silliest shit that I be hearing, man. Stand and fight like a man. AKA, please don't move because I can't cut the ring off, and you moving and punching me in my face is fucking up my rhythm, and I can't do what I want to do. So stand and fight like a man. Like people, fans be cracking me up sometimes, man. I mean, what's next? Throw combinations like a man. Just put the jab to the side. Don't use your jab. I mean, people, boy, fans be killing me. Trap House Boxing says, I remember that Ali training camp, but don't remember who he was fighting. Yeah, and man, he was circling the ring because he went from like corner to corner, just moving backward. It was so fast and fluid, and I was just like, damn, like how can he move like that? Like how was a 6'3", 200, as people consider it small? Yes, I get it. Guys today are 6'7" and 6'6", but he is 6'3", 220 pounds, moving like he's a welterweight. And you know, I always say, you guys may hear me say, well, hey man, of course the big guys today gonna look awkward because they can't move like welterweights and they don't fucking, they can't fucking move like Pernell Whitaker. But guess the one guy that could move like that, Ali. Special talent, man. Special talent. I mean, and like, let's take Vitaly Klitschko, for instance. I thought for the super heavyweights, for the 6'7" guys, I think he's one of the best movers I've seen on his feet, being able to move, not duck and bend, but just being able to move out the way. It looks pretty damn awkward, damn near clumsy at times when he does it, but I understand it's effective. But Ali would do it, and he literally looked like a small guy. Like, he just looks so natural. Like, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain, man. And no, I'm not looking at this, or you're just looking through, he's one of your favorite. Nah, man. It's that's different. That's different, man. That's different. James Coleman says, I'm saying other than Ali, Tony was fast too. Tony's very gifted fighter, man. He's one of the best fighters I've seen in my life. Tony. He he's one of them type of dudes, and Juan Marquez had this type of ability also where he could stand in the middle of a fire and be calm as hell. That fight with Samuel Peters, one of his best fights, although he lost the fight the first. I thought he won the fight, but big shots coming at him. And he just standing there calm. Just so calm and patient and not unsettled at all. I mean, he's parrying shots, rolling with shots, counter uppercuts, counter short chopping left hooks. Just standing in the middle of the storm, just calm as hell. Marquez will do that like the Pacquiao fights. Pacquiao's this whirling dervish, Tasmanian devil, all these, combinations. And Marquez got his guards up, standing there, ready to counter. Guys like that's special too. It's so subtle. People just look at that like, oh, he's just, what? I don't know, man. It's just like an eye you have to have for it, man. Or you can say, oh, you're overanalyzing. You can say what you want, man. But a lot of guys, they fall apart when the pressure picks up. Some guys, they want that. Floyd Mayweather's another guy. I don't know, man. Roscott says Ali had dog in him too. Yeah. He says when all stands flat-footed, that means he want to bang. Yeah, like I always say, man, my term is, people say boxer punches. My term is boxer fighter. A guy who's an outboxer, but if he had to stand flat-footed when moving around, either because the guy was probably having some success cutting him off like Frazier did, or just winded, probably tired, a little bit fatigued, didn't have the motor a few rounds to move around like that. Whatever it was, Ali could stand flat foot and say, all right, motherfucker, I'm going to back you up off me. I'm going to throw 6, 7 punch combinations and I'm going to make you respect me. Holmes will be able to do it too. James Coleman. He says, see, this is why, what I'm saying, Mr. Boxing, this is why you need your own show, Boxing, because I swear you be ear hustle what I be thinking. AJ versus Ali? Fat Apples, come on, man. I mean, let me just read that. Let me see. Who would win out of Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle fight? Oh, okay, I know what you're saying. Ali. Man, AJ way too. Now, okay. His movements are way too predictable for Ali. His head is there to be hit. Ali could literally close his eyes and catch him with shots, man. Way too fast. I don't think Joshua has enough head movement to get out of the way of that jab or those combinations. And if you're thinking that Ali, okay, well, if he go against the ropes, he'll just be a cakewalk for Joshua. I'm not. Look, if Takam was making him think because he wasn't a easy target to hit. Yeah. AJ hasn't hit his prime. Okay. And see that's the thing though. How do we know? Maybe AJ's as good as he's going to get. People just assume he's going to get better. Maybe he's as good as he's going to get. We don't know. I mean, it's not like he's some 20-year-old. I mean, the dude's what? 20, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Was he 27, 28? Josh wasn't some baby. You know what I'm saying? And looking at his fights, the Vladimir fight, as far as leaving unscathed, he didn't leave that fight unscathed. The Takam fight, I think Josh was where he's at. And that could be something great. I'm not saying that where he's at right now in this era, oh, you're saying he ain't shit. Nah, where he's at is in a good spot right now. But I mean, he isn't an old man. I'm not saying the dude is, 37 years old, but he's 28 years old, but he may be as good as he's going to get. We don't know. All right, so I guess we could just say that we don't know. But people say he's not in his prime. And heavyweights, I will say sometimes they can age. Sometimes they can get better when they age. But for at least from my perspective, I think guys who fit that mold is guys who can use great jabs. Larry Holmes, Foreman, who had an underrated jab. People really didn't give him credit for it. Even Vitali, when he was aging, he had good jabs, something to work off of. This, AJ wants to come forward, bang it out with combinations. Is that going to work when he gets a little bit older? Does he have a back foot game? Now, look, maybe that's something he will show us. Maybe I'm underestimating him. Maybe his back foot game is something he still got in the bag that he ain't taken out yet. That's what I would love to see if AJ got that back foot game where it's like, man, you know what? They ain't even seen that yet. But my thinking is the Vladimir fight would have been the perfect example to bring that out. Now, I'm not saying little spurts here and there, but I'm talking about, you know what? This round, I'm going to dominate you with my jab. Yeah, I haven't really seen that. And I see somebody saying fights. Well, during his fights, this many fights for him, he's on the same level when he had 18 fights. Who knows how long is? I mean, my thing is, will the best comparison be when they're done, when he's done, because maybe he may max out after, was he at 20 fights now? Maybe he may max out at 35 fights. It's hard to say, man. It's just hard to say. But based on styles, going back to the previous question, that last question, Ali and AJ, style. Listen, I don't see somebody. The shit that Joshua's throwing, as quick as Ali's coordination was, and his head movement, and we know people talk about Floyd's pull counter shit with the right hand. Go look at some of Ali, even the older Ali. Now, like Ron Lau. Now, I'm not okay. Let me not make Ali out to be fucking Superman here, but like Ron Lau had some success against him. Now, don't get me wrong, man. So if you're comparing like kind of AJ to those guys and their stuff, but Ron Lau could fight though, man. That dude was a good boxer. You know what I mean? Guys had some success against him now, man. But I'm just saying that I just stylistically, I just don't see him beating Ali. I just don't. I think Ali will see most of that shit coming 10 miles away. And AJ, although he's 250 pounds, ripped and all, he don't use his physicality like this. It's not like he's in there shoulder to shoulder like Frazier, trying to press you. It's just his pressing you is combination punching. Okay, what about when you can't hit somebody? Then what? But they can hit you though. Haplotype, what's good? Haplotype's another one. Going back to my 20 minutes ago, he's another uploader that I've been watching for damn near 10 years on here too. Dave Champion says Ali would have been smaller than Takam compared to Joshua. But smaller, Ali would have been smaller. Well, smaller weight, just like weight, because he has the way longer reach and he's taller. And the one thing I look at, people don't look at, is Ali's calves, like his legs. Like he wasn't just some like small guy. Even with him and Foreman was like, you look at their bodies, I mean, it's like, damn, Ali looked just as big as Foreman. Now, Foreman looked a little more strapping across the shoulders and chest and forearms, but damn, they're about the same when to me, it looked like in the ring with the eye test. AJ would have just walked through him. Okay. Says Team Bros. He says Ali wasn't blown out by Foreman. AJ wouldn't have just. Oh, okay. He says Ali wasn't blown out by Foreman. AJ wouldn't just walk through him. Yeah, he wouldn't, man, because you got to be able to hit what's there. And Ali is not somebody that's easy to hit. He made himself easy to hit against the ropes, but he knew what he was doing. It wasn't like he was just like, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, man. And how would AJ reacted to some of the antics? They list Ali as 6'3". I've never seen him listed as 6'2". Maybe you have, Dave Champion. I'm not saying you haven't, but I've always had him listed as 6'3". But, I mean, if you're just giving me these sizes, then, see, what you're saying is you're saying, well, maybe you're talking to somebody else, but let me just speak on what you wrote on the comments. You said Joshua 6'6", 245, Ali 6'2", 215. Okay, cool. By that logic, Mike Tyson should have never won a world title, right? You get what I'm saying here? See, one thing I don't like do is comparing the eras like that, but it's a good talk just to have some boxing discussion about what could have happened and all that type of thing. But I don't get into heights and weights. Not from the 70s on, no. Now, if we're talking maybe 19, like some, Marvin Hart or some shit like that, probably Jim Corbett, something like that. But from the 70s eras, no. I don't really go by height, weight. I just don't. Because you still got to be able to hit what you see, man. It's not like, you know what, we're going to get in the ring and you're going to be intimidated because I'm 245. What the hell does that mean? Your height doesn't mean you're going to win the fight. Can you utilize what you got? Do you have dog in you? Those type of characteristics. Now, AJ did show he had some dog in him because he was dead tired, got put on his ass, and he got up and he weathered the storm and he beat Vladimir. So that does show some dog in him. But the quickness, the head movement, like that whole style is just, that's something he's never seen before. At least we can say that Ali seen something similar to Joshua and let's say Foreman. But then I know some of you will argue, well, shit, Joshua seen Vladimir, who works behind the jab. He's a bigger, stronger version of Ali. And I don't think that's accurate. Because Ali had a way better chin than Vladimir Klitschko, in my opinion. And just the mind games and just the things he would do. Ali was so gangster with it, man. I can see Ali making the crowd turn against AJ. That's how gangster he was with his mind games, man. Very likable guy as far as getting the crowd on his side. Blood says, the guy who said he was 6'2" is used to posting in casual chat boards. You can't do that on YouTube, man. Yeah, I mean, I always seen Ali as 6'3", and some even say he was probably a little bit taller than 6'3", but 6'3". All right, y'all, the fam here, man. My kids about to come here screaming and yelling. Appreciate chopping up with y'all, man. Yep. All right, man. So I'm about to kick it with the fam. Y'all be good, man. I'm gone.